Hi guys, so today I'm going to talk about one of my most second asked question on my Instagram is that how do I feed Mikael and how does he have such a good eating habits and how does he even sit peacefully and eat. So I'm going to share what I have done, what I've been doing since he was born and how I have implemented that throughout his life so far, and what he eats, what he doesn't eat, because let me tell you this, he is a great foodie. He's a massive foodie and he eats everything, but there are times when we struggle with him. So I'm going to share what I have done for that as well and how we have improved that as well. Mikael was breastfed for 12 months. I am so proud of myself for that because I thought I wouldn't be even, making it to the first 2 months. When I did 2 months, I was like, 6 months max, and that's it, I'll be done. And I kept going and going and going, and it was good. I felt really proud of myself that I breastfed him for 12 months. At 4 months, because Mikael was always like looking at our food when we were eating, so I knew that he was kind of ready. So I started introducing a few teaspoons of solids during the day. And then after that, he would be breastfed. I introduced weird things to him. He did start with the rice porridge and banana, but I gave him peas, a lot of vegetables mashed, and blueberries and things like that. And when we came back from our overseas holiday and he was 7 months old, I started giving him pretty much everything that we were having. Now, in my pregnancy, I used to have a lot of raw vegetables, and I think that's where he has gotten that habit. I think so. It might not be, but you never know. So I started giving him broccoli and potatoes and salad, lettuce leaves, and just basically everything that we would eat that you will not see a normal toddler eating. Like broccoli is one of the things that I keep hearing from moms that are like, oh, how does he eat broccoli? How does he love broccoli? My son hates it, or my kids hate it. They think it's disgusting. I think it's up to you, because I think kids do not have the idea of love and hate at such a younger age regarding food. I do not think that they know the strong knowledge of taste. If you give them lime or lemon, yes, they will know that because it's tangy and it hits you straight on your taste buds. But if you give them mashed potato and broccoli, which are basically blend, I don't think so they can tell you the difference. The first and foremost thing that I did was have a designated area of his feeding. So on his high chair in the kitchen, that's it. Nowhere else. He would sit on his high chair and I've spoon fed him. I've done it myself. I did not force him to self feed because I am major OCD and I cannot handle, clutter and just food all over the floor. I cannot handle that. So I didn't do anything about self-feeding, and I would just make him everything that we were eating on daily basis anyways. In the beginning, yes, he was having a lot of mashed and purees food. It would include all sorts of vegetables, pears, bananas, mangoes, and broccoli, tomatoes, avocado. He loves avocado. And yeah, basically whatever I could just find, I'll just mash it and boil it and give it to him, and that's it. I think when he was at 8 months, I started giving him less purees and mashed food and more finger food and things he would chew on now. So I introduced carrots, cucumbers, zucchini. Yes, he eats zucchini. And yeah, basically just keep giving him. The one rule I have in my house, which I have learned from my mom, is whatever is cooked, you have to eat. If you don't eat, you don't get anything else. There's no substitute. They don't cater to your needs because they do not want us to be spoiled brats and just demand whenever they want whatever, and it will be right in front of them. So that's one thing I wanted Mikael to learn. So whatever was cooked, I will just put it in front of him, and that's what I kept on doing till he was 12 months, and I'm still doing that. So he has a habit of sitting down and eating because of that initial habit of sitting in a high chair and eating at one spot. He is so clever, mashallah. Every time it's dinner or lunch or breakfast time, if I'm just standing and I'm just like, oh, here you go, Mikael, have a bite, he'll be like, oh no, let's go sit and eat. And that what makes me proud. Like, he knows that he needs to sit and eat, and it's a good habit. If he wants, he can sit on a couch. If he wants, he can sit on the bench top, on the bar stool. If he wants, he can come outside in the backyard and sit and eat. It's up to him, but he wants to sit and eat. He does not like standing and eating. When he started going to daycare, that's when he learned self-feeding, because other kids would self-feed themselves, and that's when he was, motivated, and he started doing it, and that was a blessing. Thank God for that. Now, whatever I put in front of him, he eats. He doesn't question it. He will eat. Now he loves olives, cherry tomatoes. He will have salad. The salads that I make for us for our keto diet, he will even eat that. And then he loves dal chawal. That's one of his favorite desi foods. He loves pulao. He loves biryani. He loves all the curries. What he does with curries is, now that I have introduced him to roti, I'll just cut him some small bites, keep it in front of him, and he will just pick, and he thinks that he's actually dipping and getting a lot of it, but he just keeps it and then picks it up and barely gets anything of it and eats it. And I'm happy with that, because I feel like he's learning that grasping movement by doing that. So I'm happy for him to keep doing it. But somehow he does finish up the curry. Like, I don't know if you guys watched my recent stories when he was eating dal curry on the bench top and he was dipping it, but he finished the entire dal, even though he was barely getting any. And yeah, like, I'll just put anything. And he has chicken breast strips that I get from Coles, and turkey strips. He has turkey as well. And then I make him spaghetti bolognese. He loves bolognese. I make him cream cheese pasta, with mozzarella in it, and cream, and nothing else but just garlic, ginger, and salt and pepper. The one thing I'm very conscious about is his salt and sugar intake. So I'm very, very conscious of that. So I make sure that he eats healthy. He doesn't eat junk. I think Mikael would have only had French fries in his life so far 3 times. That's it. And that's only on very rare occasions that, he'll have it. We do not have junk in our house. We do not have chips and chocolates and soft drinks and fizzy drinks and things like that. They do not come in our house. So he hasn't learned the habit of having all those stuff. So the other day when we were making muffins, and we just melted some dark chocolate for that, and I made him taste it, he spit it out straight away. But then when I gave him again, just like, on my finger, and he licked it, he loved it. And I was like, oh my God, this guy's going to be a chocolate freak like me. So we need to keep him away from that as well. He eats everything, mashallah. He doesn't really fight over food. He doesn't, tell you what he wants or what he doesn't want. He'll eat whatever you give him. I get him a lot of snack food from Coles, and they're mostly organic and healthy. They have very less sugar, less than, like, some of them have like less than a gram sugar, so which is great. And I just keep changing what he keeps eating. Now in his breakfast he has a menu, alternate days. One day will be boiled eggs, one day will be organic waffles, homemade. One will be French toast with raisin toast. Another day he'll have is a bowl of oats with Tamar Valley's yogurt. He loves all these 4 things. We keep alternating because I do not want him to get bored out of it. Sometimes I would give him other stuff like omelette. He's not a big fan of omelette and scrambled eggs yet. I don't know, it's because of the texture or what, but he doesn't really like it. So I'm going to try it again and see if he loves it. Sometimes he would even have smashed tavo on a toast with feta cheese, so which is great. He loves that. We will give him something different for his lunch and something different for his dinner. So he won't repeat his meal again, because I feel like he does get bored. So we need to change. If he is home, then he'll eat whatever is cooked at home. May that be pulao, rice, dal chawal, or his chicken breast or turkey breast strips and things like that. And for dinner it's the other way around. So if he is not home, he will have that for his dinner, whatever he was supposed to have for his lunch. I think the biggest thing that we as mom need to keep in mind is, even though we are always worried about that if our child has had enough food, we need to keep in mind that we need to tell them that they cannot have whatever they want, because that's where I think we spoil their habits. And when they grow up, you're outside, they'll just fight and argue with you that they do not want to have this, but they want to have something else. And you can't get it at that time. and you just have to be like, you have to eat what is here, but they don't, and they starve themselves. We need to discipline them in regards to this. We need to tell them that, dude, you need to eat what is in front of you, or you're not getting any food, and you can go home and sleep empty stomach. That's it. So discipline is very important. People will come and tell you and be like, oh, just be a flexible mom. Don't be so hard on him and yourself and this and that. But it makes your life easy as they grow up. They'll be flexible to whatever you give them, and they'll eat. And which is a good thing, because they won't get everything in life. They have to work hard for whatever they want. So they can't just ask for chocolate as a lunch meal. No, that's not possible. It's up to you, whatever you want and how you want to raise your kid. I personally believe that having a routine and a discipline in my house for Mikael is good for his upbringing and when he grows up, because he won't be fussy. He won't be, questioning what I put in front of him. In between, as most of you know, when Mikael was hospitalized for pneumonia, since that time, he has been on and off food where he does not eat, and he is not in the mood. Not that he does not like what we give him, it's just that he doesn't want to eat. Being very honest, I'm not just saying it for the heck of it and just or this is not a advertisement for the product or anything, but since I've introduced him to probiotics, oh my god, major difference. Literally within 4 days we could see the difference in him. It has improved his appetite massively. He eats. Sometimes he will even ask for snacks. Usually he wouldn't. But since the probiotics have been introduced, he asks for snacks. He constantly drinks more and more water. He's a water lover. Like, he loves water, because I from 8 months onward, I have had 2 bottles around the house so one will be either in the lounge, one will be in the kitchen, or wherever it is. That way he knows that there's water in front of him and he can drink that rather than anything else. Because when we stopped giving him milk, when he was hospitalized for pneumonia, we were asked to stop giving him milk completely. And from that day, I was like, okay, if he's not going to have milk, I want him to be hydrated with just water, not juice or anything else. No. And since that day, he has a habit of having his bottle with him all the time. He finishes easily 3 to 4 bottles a day. And yes, his nappies are always full. But I'm not complaining about that. I am happy, because the last thing I want for my child is to be dehydrated and not having the nutrition. Make sure you have water bottles around the house for your kids, so that they learn that they've got water instead of Coke or Pepsi or juices, so that they can just drink water, which is really good for them and keeps them hydrated. So with probiotics, I've seen that his water intake has also increased. His food intake has increased. Sometimes he would have 1 bowl, but since with probiotics, he now asks for more. He'll have 2 bowls of the food that he has. And that is a great thing. So for any mom struggling with fussy kids with food, I'll say introduce them to probiotics. It's a great thing. It's good bacteria for their bodies, and even we adults should be taking probiotics. So I highly recommend you guys to go for probiotics for yourself and your kids. I'll show you the ones that I've been using for Mikael. So these are the 2 things that I keep giving him. One is the Increment from Centrum Kids. I give this to him before bedtime, and this as well. This one is by Nature's Way, and it's called Kid Smart Drops Probiotics. You just have to give 1 ml of this once a day, but you can start this from 7 months, so that's great. And it improves their immunity, it improves their appetite. It also helps with kids with eczema, so it's great. And it also improves their bowel movements, so that's great. But you can get them from any of your nearest chemist stores. I'll just show them to you. That was my my little talk. I don't know if it's been little or how long it's been going on for, but This was my take on feeding a toddler and your child. In the end, it is all up to you how you want to feed your kids, what you want them to learn. May it be breastfed, bottle fed, formula fed, whatever it is, it's, you know what is best for your child. But when it comes to the real food and they grow up and they're 12 months plus, that's where I think discipline is important, and you have to tell them that they need to eat whatever you put in front of them. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Let me know what you guys think of this video, and if you guys have any questions, just pop them through and I'll answer them. Thank you. Bye.